full-time technician. I still don't know righty tighty lefty loosey. Cut right behind the holes. Right behind. And I gotta figure out where I can cut right here. Probably in between the hole or right on top. Probably in between. Not give me room for the radiator to lean forward. So here's just a basic cut of our solution. Tight fit. So we got it in. I'm gonna tilt it back like that. Left a little lip to weld onto. And then once it's welded, I might grind it down or not because you can't really see this. And then we're gonna hammer this lip to here so it'll be nice and tilted, and this is how a stock radiator fits. So right about here is where it fits normally, and then a little bit tilted. This would probably be under the core support, and then full tilt until it hits the headlight motors, which I might move because I might go around this tilt or more. But there's the clearance. So this piece right here is stock. I'm trying to line it up with there. And so the radiator, once you lean it forward, it would hit this instantly. So we chop this off. Just like that. Now we put a piece of scrap steel in there and lean it forward. So now we can lean the radiator super far forward. So here it is. We had to fill a huge gap here and a huge gap there. So these like corners took at least like 5 minutes, just like slowly building up material to finally link it over. Yeah, I guess you should spend more time fitting than welding. I'll have a better product, but you can tell in person, but this used to be straight up from here and it's leaned over way far. So I think this is gonna work a lot better. Be able to lean the radiator forward, be able to get fans with the inline 6. But I'm gonna grind these down so it looks better. I had some of this left over from my WRX, so I might as well use this on the 240.
Wait, hold on.
Ready? Go. Fucking crazy. Is there any more holes? Oh my god. Ooh, and there it is, finished product. Now I just have to wait for my radiator to show up and build some brackets to lean it forward, and then build some bracket, or a bracket right here, make a new core support. So, got my Mishimoto radiator a couple nights ago. I got the rest of the sound deadening off. See all that? It's so hard with dry ice to get the sides. So I put the dry ice bag there and hold it up with my feet for like 15 minutes and then hammer it off. And when it doesn't get cold enough, it leaves all the residue because it's really hard. Like trans tunnel there, all the tunnels back there. So I'm gonna have to like grind all that off because I don't really care if it goes to metal, and then I'm really gonna paint the whole interior because I still need to do that. And I pull the dash. I want to paint the interior before I put the motor in because it's been raw metal for just too long. And here's the radiator. Stock position I think is like right there, straight up and down. And as you saw, I cut the lower radiator support and added that plate at a diagonal. So now we can lean this forward without it touching, probably right there. And look how far that is. And I'm planning on making a removable core support out of tubing. Do like rib nuts, somehow this come out, hold the radiator, come out, hold the radiator, and then build a tab, hold the intercooler, and then also make something to hold the bumper. Yeah, we're getting so close. I ordered my clutch, my math, my motor mounts. Yeah, so in like a week or two, there'll be a motor in here. My wiring harness gets here Tuesday. It's Saturday right now. So it's like, we're getting really close. So yeah. First I use cardboard to map it out. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna bend it there, there, so it's flush. This piece there, cap it, and then back piece. And we'll be able to cap it, and we'll be able to bolt it there, there, maybe down here, and then have a tube weld onto it. So this will be removable. So now I'm gonna try to bend this. So far, I'm gonna try to replicate this best I can for the other side. But that cap's on there. We're gonna bolt back, top, and front. And we're gonna weld a bar to this, come out forward, and back into the other side that holds the radiator and maybe the intercooler. So here I'm trying to replicate the other side. I do a grind that cuts almost 50% of it. And I put it on the car and I just bend it with my hand to the exact bend I need. And then this is how I do the other part. How I figured out today, like it's not like I know what I'm doing. So you see the grind, the bend is there. Put it where you want it. Put the bend there. Go to the other side, see where the bend is. Looks like it's right there. Now, connect them. Okay, let me pause it. Starting to bend. Ooh. I think this side's gonna be better than the other side. Now we need cap. Ready? Mm-hmm. There's all my shitty welds. I went over that a couple times to fill that huge gap. Did a little bit in the inside, fill that gap. But time to grind it to make it look somewhat okay. Burning my leg off.
This is what I was thinking. I don't know if it would work though.
What?
If
to you. Do like a bar across, and then you could tie it into your frame right here.
I don't want to tie into that because that's the bash bar.
Oh yeah.
And I might get the street fraction one in the future.
Oh okay. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that plan.
So progress update. Here's our end caps bolted in, so they're super strong. And those are gonna be removable once we do the core support. And those are the radiator brackets. They go underneath the radiator. And the radiator would sit too tall. Like the cap was above, like way above the headlight buckets. So we're thinking of cutting these in half and then test fitting it. Probably no matter what I do, I'm gonna have to cut a radiator cap hole in like the structural part of the hood. Just like a little hole. Not all the way through, just the structural part. Maybe. So, we're gonna cut it big, and that's about 31 and a half, or should we even just do 30? You think? Because the radiator is like 28.
Yeah, I'd say 30's
26.
fine.
30? So we're trying to go to like there, maybe? So
No, yeah, let me see. Yeah, hold on. Wow, I was thinking like. Do right around there.
that's pretty close to where I was saying. But yeah, you're a little bit lower.
Like right where that guy is.
Only issue with that is it might be kind of hard to go down from that. Maybe. Probably not.
No, if you just go angled.
Yeah.
And you'll just have to trim this little plastic piece a little bit.
Yeah. So put it flat on that if you can. So we can measure how long we need to cut the other sticks.
Well, here.
Well, let's cut it big because we have to angle it.
You're gonna go down like that. So at least 5.5 inches.
Well, we're gonna lose some inches when we get it flat to that.
So that's what I'm saying, 5.5, because that's way out here.
Okay. So let's.
Or should we just do 6?
So let's get that. C-notch it into there. This might look okay, or really shitty. Hopefully okay. Okay. So, just tacked it in. We still cut it long. This, we're getting the idea. And full. Still got headlight. You should double check that one, but I'm pretty sure it does.
It'll fit.
Yeah. You can see how straight it is. Probably set it on top of them. I'd say that's good enough. It's a fucking drift car. Yeah, it's good enough, right? Sick. So here's the update. Those are still just tack welded on. This was a bitch. I've never done C-notches before with the angle grinder. That's what I did. It's still loose in there. But the radiator is pretty much as far forward as I want with the tension on those little feet down there. And then once this is welded, you cut these off so they're equal and maybe cap them so they look better and grind them all, make it look nice. And then there's my core support. And then later, build a tab that goes straight down, and then my intercooler can bolt off of it, or my intercooler can go straight to here. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that's sweet. Don't mind my shitty welding, but it's kind of tacked on there. Just have to pull it off and weld all the way around all the joints. Cut the extra off, cap it, make it look better, and then paint it. But freaking sweet. Clears the headlights. Super pumped. So now I put my ugly welds on it. We're gonna cut the ends off and then cap it and maybe grind the welds down so they don't look so bad, and then paint it so you don't see the bad welds. So the whole goal is just to hide all the bad welds. So here's my end caps. I just used spare metal. And I did super fat welds and hopefully it penetrated to get. I welded around all the way around. So I don't know if this actually did anything, but who knows. So yeah, I grinded down there and everything. So I'm just gonna cut off the excess and then grind it, make it all pretty. Yeah, I still have like an hour of grinding work pretty much to do. Here's like my end cap I'm making. And there's progress grinding on that one. So I gotta weld it through a couple spots because when I was grinding it welded the weld. I grinded the weld completely gone, but it's getting late. My flapper disc just took a shit on me, but super pumped. So, last video you saw those end caps. I grinded them all down so it looks kind of seamless. You probably could have like cut these two at an angle, but that would have been really hard to line up. So I just did end caps and grinded it till it looked like it was that way. Grinded all the welds on top so it looked good. The back looks like crap. And then this is like 3/4 inch thick, and this is a half. And I put the end in a vise and pinched it, and then bent it at my angle I desired. And then that goes right here. And then my intercooler will tee into that somewhere. I'm not sure yet how. But I just tacked it in place, and now I'm gonna weld all the way around. And this thing should be super sturdy. I'm gonna give her one more tack. So here's the finished product, other than the intercooler setup, wherever that mounts to, somewhere around here. It's not, these bolts aren't bolted down, but like I could stand on that. All I have to do is do the intercooler tabs, keep it nice and tilted like that. You can see how far that's tilted from factory. And it's just 3 bolts on each side and 1 on the bottom. Clears headlight buckets. So I'm trying to figure out this core support radiator mount, and there's the OEM piece drilled, but look how high I am off the core support. So I don't know if I'm gonna like pull this up to it and bolt it and weld that there. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to make it look okay and not be that ghetto. So I just found the stock one. I noticed it had this elevation change. Is exactly what I need. So let's see. So I still need to pull it close. Let's see. I have an idea. So I'm doing both at once. So there's that. This is a new piece. Pull it, and this line looks to be like the end of the radiator. So I'm gonna bend it down and see how it goes. And this is totally garage built. I have no professional tools. I have an angle grinder and a vise. So I'm gonna try bending it and see how that works. It's really hard to tell, but I lined up this edge with the very top line of the Sharpie. So I'm gonna start hitting it. So I'm gonna do little bends and test fit it, little bends and test fit it. So I was gonna copy this and do 2 bends, one going down and then flat again. But I just test fitted the first bend, and I think I kinda like this. I don't know if I'm gonna do like a nut cert right here or just drill and tap the actual pipe. And just go like, cut this, it's obviously long, and cut this in half so I have a matching side for the other side. But I think I like that. Yeah. There you have it, 2 identical pieces. Fits on there, and pull it to where I want it to be. The other bushing's inside because I lost the other one. So I ordered one online and it showed up in like 2 days. So it's just inside. But yeah. Get closer. Okay, instead of just bolting it, because I don't have a nut cert or a thread tool, I think I'm just gonna weld it. So I did 2 spot welds per side. And now I'm gonna try to take it off and see if it works. Because to get my radiator out, I have to take the core support out every single time. So I wanna see if that's what I want. It's just 1 bolt at the bottom and then 3 per side. So yeah, let's see. And these aren't bolted. These are just nuts and bolts because I won't be taking this out that much. But yeah, I have to go get some tools because I can't get this shit out. Okay, I got all the bolts out. It's just sitting there, so let's try to... Look at that. Pretty nifty. Okay, let's see if I can put it back on. Probably not gonna film because I'm gonna use 2 hands, not just 1. So it's not very hard to install it. Nothing's tight. I mean, I can just pull the bolts out because I haven't put nuts on it. But since there's 3 bolts per side, it's pretty tight fitment without even nuts on it. And I think I like it. I think I'm gonna weld these permanently, do some nice fat welds, cut the ends off, maybe round the tips off, but I really like it. So here it is, finished product. Tabs on there. I'm no welder whatsoever, or fabricator, but pretty pumped how this turned out. Probably weighs like 10 pounds though, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this just needs paint. It's literally done. I rounded out the edges, make it look nice. Not so sheet metal, flat stock looking. It's such a tight fitment, it's kind of hard with the headlight buckets. You have to like fondle your way in there. And that goes upside down. Like that. Pull it forward. And just like that. Holes line up perfectly. There's no way when that's bolted out that it would jump out of there. That's lined up. Hell yeah. And now, let's see, is the cap clear? Yeah, so the cap does clear, but I'm gonna have to cut some of my hood so it doesn't hit the outer skin. But yeah, super pumped on how this turned out. Didn't have a bender. If I had a bender, I would have just made this one piece, but no, it had to be like little piece, long piece. Just welded together, eyeballed. And this never would have happened if I didn't cut this. You saw that in the beginning of the video. So I leaned it forward, you can tell it's getting kind of tight right there. But yeah, I could probably stand on that. but I'd rather not. That's pretty much going to be it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I think the motor's going to go in next weekend, and it should be running within 2 weeks, maybe. So stay tuned for that. And check out older videos if you haven't been caught up with this. It's been quite the long project. All right, peace out.